Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be checking out the College of Communication and Education at Chico State. So we're going to be talking to some representatives that are faculty from this department, and then also we're going to be talking to some students from different departments in the College of Communication and Education. So definitely stick around. We have a great tour coming up for you. And before we get started, I guess I'll just introduce myself a little bit. My name is Jaina. I am a music industry major and also a marketing minor at Chico State, so I'm not a part of the College of Communication and Education, but I'm very excited to learn a lot more about it today. I'm a tour guide on campus, so always good to be learning about different colleges and departments that I'm not a part of. So I'm super excited about it, but I am a senior, so I'm almost done here at Chico State. So I'm excited to, learn a little more about what's going on at different colleges. So first, we are going to get started by talking to the dean here, Dean Angela Trethaway. So once I see that she's joined, we'll go ahead and get going there. After that, we're going to be talking to Christian, who is also a campus ambassador with me at Chico State, and he's going to be telling us a little bit about the Communication Sciences and Disorders Department, which is his major. So I'm excited to hear from them. Alrighty, and it looks like our Dean, Angela, is ready. Go ahead and get started. Hello.
Hi. Hi. Thank you so much for having me. We're super excited.
Me too. So why don't you tell our students that are tuned in here a little bit about yourself and then a little bit about the space that you're in right now.
Well, I'm happy to do that. My name is Angela Trethaway, and I am the Dean of the College of Communication and Education here at Chico State. And you may not have ever heard of a College of Communication and Education. We're pretty unique. And I like to tell people that we are the best College of Communication and Education in the country. We may be the only one, but we are the best one. And I'm super happy and proud to be the dean. I've been dean here in the College of Communication and Education for 7 years. And I came back to Chico State because I'm actually an alum as well. So I graduated from Chico a long time ago and then went on to have a fabulous career that I loved. I was a professor at the University of Washington and at Arizona State University. And then I got the opportunity to come back to Chico, and I did. And here's why. Chico State gave me the best preparation. I had faculty who cared deeply about me. I had faculty who supported me. I got to learn about what I loved, and I got to be prepared for a career that's been not only a wonderful professional life, but a wonderful life. Mm-hmm. This place, more than any place that I've been, cares about students. That's why I came back. I wanted to be part of and to give back to the college that has given me so much. So I'm just absolutely delighted to be here. And I'm really, really excited to share with you some of the work that we do here in our college. So instead of talking to you about all the majors that we have, I want to talk to you a little bit about our approach here in the college. So like I said, we're a really diverse college. We house communication programs, including communication studies, which has 2 distinct programs. You'll hear more about one of them today. We house journalism and PR. We house media arts, design, and technology. We also are home to the Department of Recreation, Hospitality, and Parks Management, the Department of Kinesiology. We also are the home to liberal studies, as well as the School of Education. So we're a really diverse college, but we're united by some things that we all hold dear and that we're committed to. And you'll learn a little bit more about those today. So one of the things that we're committed to is to making sure that every single student who comes to Chico State in our college has meaningful, memorable, and marketable experiences, right? So what we try to do here in our college, and again, you'll learn more about that today, is what we want to do with you students is to start with what you love and what you care about, right? So I don't really care about your major. I want to know what you love. What are you interested in? And then what we do is we take those interests and we provide you with unique learning opportunities where you get to explore those interests and at the same time learn the skills that are really going to be crucial for your future and that prepare you to have the professional opportunities when you leave here to be successful, not only in your first job, but throughout your career. One of the things that people don't know about CME is we have the second highest number of millionaire alums across the university. And that's because the skills that we offer up, the knowledge and skills that you learn in our college, are the ones that employers are most interested in right now. The number one skill that employers are looking for in new hires are communication skills. So it's not only those sort of what we call soft skills, but we also offer knowledge and skills in really the top 25 skills that employers are looking for today, including things like video production, audio editing, storytelling, multimedia platform storytelling. So the kinds of things we do prepare you not only for your first job, like I said, but really for a lifetime of work that you'll enjoy. And I think that's really, really important these days. So you'll learn a little bit more about that interest, experience, professional opportunity combo, I think, when you hear from some of our students. But just as a couple of examples, you know, I mean, if you are interested in being outdoors, our Recreation, Hospitality, and Parks Management program provides you the opportunity to learn outside in our state and national parks and to develop the skills that you need to be a park ranger or to work for the U.S. Forest Service in wildland management and natural resources. And we place students in those jobs for a lifetime of careers. If you're interested in health and wellness, you might think about exercise physiology, where you learn the skills to help people lead healthier lives, to prevent injury, to enhance their performance in sports, and to leave here to be a personal trainer or work in corporate wellness or to go to a physical therapy doctoral program. So that we really do, I think, provide folks with those unique learning experiences that set you up to be successful. So I could talk about it all day, and I'm happy to talk about it all day to anybody who is interested. But perhaps right now we should turn it over to one of our student ambassadors.
Yeah, do you mind if I ask you just a couple more questions?
Sure, I just don't want to take up all the space, but I'm happy to.
Oh, we got time. We got the whole hour. So
sure.
We'll definitely have some time. I think we have a shorter tour today. But I would love to know what the kind of your area of expertise is and what you're usually teaching, and then maybe even a little bit about your career.
Well, sure. Well, I was a communication studies major as an undergrad so many decades ago. But, you know, again, I came to Chico. I was interested in public relations. I was interested in marketing. And I took a communication class and I found like I'd found my home, right? It was every time I came out of one of my classes, I felt like I saw the world differently, right? Things made sense to me in new and different and exciting ways. And I got more and more interested in organizational communication, which is one of the options that we still have today in the college. And organizational communication really takes a communication lens or perspective to look at what happens in our organizational contexts. So if you're interested in leadership, in problem solving, in organizational culture, in change management, in thinking about how to make organizations more inclusive, those are exactly the kinds of things that we focus on in communication. And so really, I got super interested in that and went on to Purdue for a PhD in organizational communication. And so I've done consulting work, and I've written textbooks about communication, specifically about the sort of push and pull of creativity and constraint in our organizational lives. I think that training has helped me to get to this point in my career where I'm sadly not as often able to be in the classroom. I'm now leading this academic unit. And so the kinds of skills and knowledge that I learned as an organizational communication scholar really helped me in my role as a dean. So, you know, I never thought when I came to college that I would grow up to be a dean, right? If somebody had said, what do you want to be when you grow up? I wouldn't have said college dean. But it's such a wonderful fit for me because it gives me a chance, again, to continue to explore my interests. And my interests are communication and what happens between people and how we can use communication to really help people lead richer and fuller lives, whether that's in their organizational context, whether it's in their relationships, or whether it's in their communities. And so I feel really, really lucky that I landed here at Chico as an undergrad and that I get to be back now as the dean of the college, where I graduated, and my mom got her teaching credential, and my own daughter just graduated last semester.
Oh, no way.
We have, yeah.
That's
so
funny.
Chico
So my dad was a graduate and also his brother. So I feel like we're passing it
It's
down
awesome,
in my family
right?
too.
It's awesome.
I love it. Yeah.
And that's the thing about Chico. It's like once you come here, it's hard to leave. You know, it's a really special place with really special people. And it has, like I said, my experience here at Chico State was transformative for me. And that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm back. And I know it can be for you if you decide to come here as a student, for those of you who are following along today.
Yes, I definitely agree. Well, thank you so much, Dr.
Absolutely.
Trethewey. We'll tune back in with you at the end of the tour, and I'll have a couple more questions about Chico State students. So that's coming up later.
You know what? Before I buzz off, how about I stay on, because Caitlin, she's having some trouble with her Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to make sure if she's still having trouble, she can just use my phone.
Oh, okay.
So let me just buzz down the hall. I don't want to make any of you car sick while I walk, but let me just take you through here. Just around the corner, here we are in Tehama, home of the College of Communication and Education. And we'll buzz right around the corner. And Caitlin Morris, our amazing academic senator, who is a wonderful representative for our college, is going to start on a tour of Tehama. So Tehama is one of the buildings where we have programs. We'll also get to see some of our other programs in other buildings. So right now, I'll turn it over to Caitlin. Any Wi-Fi?
No.
Okay. So here she is.
Well, good thing you guys are close by.
Hello.
Hello, Caitlin. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Of course. Would you be able to tell us a little bit about yourself and then what tour you're going to be giving us today?
Yeah, sure. I'll sit down. So my name's Caitlin. I'm the student senator for the College of Communication and Education. The student senators are through AS Government Associate Students. It's a super cool program. There's each of us for every college, and we're here to serve as like a student advocate for all of our voices on campus and make sure that like our concerns and all the student voices are being heard. We have like student academic meetings, for example, and we meet every Friday at noon and talk about what's going on like campus and like what we can do to like help. And so it's a really cool program. It's only 6 years old, so it's pretty new.
Awesome.
Yeah, but myself, I'm a junior here. I'm a communication sciences and disorders major, so like speech therapy, and French minor. I don't really know what else.
That's good. We can go ahead and start talking about just the space that you're in and some of your Chico State experiences as you show us around Tehama Hall.
Yeah. Right now I'm actually in the speech and debate room in Tehama. So Tehama is basically the communications building. A lot of MAD Tech, which is media arts and design majors, a lot of journalism, public relations, and just communication majors in general are here in this building. So right now I'm in the speech and debate room. Chico State has their own speech and debate team, which is won a bunch of collegiate awards. They're a great speech and debate team. They get to travel. I have friends that have been on the team and they just love it. It's awesome for people that are interested in like law school or just public speaking. So yeah, I can like show a little bit of the room. So they have like a big TV screen and the projector, and a lot would go in here when things were in person. So yeah, and there's a TV behind me too. So a lot of good technology to keep up with the technological world of public speaking.
Yeah. Would you mind telling us about some of your favorite experiences that you've had in your particular program?
In my program, I actually just started since it's a 2-year upper class program.
Okay.
So it's been super cool being in it. It's a super small program, which is really nice because it's very like person to person with the teachers. Like you really get to know all the professors. And I actually go to grad school for it too, and Chico has a grad program. So it's just super awesome for me that like I get to go really pursue speech therapy and have that like person to person help with it.
Yeah.
Which is why I like Chico. I just feel like it's really like person to person, like hands on, like help.
Definitely. I definitely feel that too. Our student to faculty ratio is actually 23-1, and our average class size is about 30. So we definitely have this really awesome opportunity to get to know our professors on a very personal level, which is something that is hard to find at a lot of public schools. So I've experienced in that in my major as well.
It's so true. I have my sister goes to a way bigger school, and she talks about having classes of like 300 to 500 people, and I'm like, that would be crazy to me.
Yeah, I've never had to have one of those at Chico State, so I've always felt like I've gotten to know my professor really well, and yeah, it's just been amazing. I love like the mid-sized school that we have here. It's not too small, it's not too big. We have about 17,000 undergraduates at our school, so it makes for a perfect little college town.
No, it's true. It's true. Okay, so I just was walking. Now I'm in Tehama 226. I didn't even look at the door. So this is the design studio for all of the media arts design students. It has, I can flip around my camera. It has computers, like a little collaboration board, TV screens, Apple TV. It's really great, like a collaborative space for students. See, like there's couches and everything. And a lot of MadTech students use this. They have access to like Adobe Creative Cloud, different software that's great for class projects, and just, yeah, it's a really great collaborative space. And we also have a student club, the Digital Filmmakers Guild, and they also use the space a lot to create content. They make a lot of good videos.
Yeah.
So can I just add a little highlight? So not last semester, but the semester before, the students in this design and media arts design and technology, they did some wonderful design work for the City of Paradise. After the big fire, they built an app to connect students on campus to volunteer experiences up on the ridge using what they call service design. So it's really thinking about how do we use design principles to help human beings move around and do work in the world. And so they're really thinking about, again, they're interested in design, they're interested in helping people. So how do we create these hands-on learning opportunities to, hone their design skills, whether it's app building or, making signs or other design elements, to help people, and then to be able to have that sort of portfolio available to them when they leave. I think that's another really nice example of, I'm interested in design, I get to do this hands-on work with state-of-the-art software to do something useful to prepare me to have a career in design. So, sorry to interrupt.
No,
that was great.
Exhibition I got.
Yeah, no, that's part of the best thing about like CME is a lot of the programs are just like very realistic and want to like prepare you for the real world. So they don't waste your time, they get down to it.
Built to get you ready. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We'll head upstairs.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Gonna go to the editing lab next, but it's kind of a long walk.
All right, so while we're, walking over there, would you be able to tell us what you love about your Chico State faculty in your college?
Oh, that is a big one. I think we have like some of the best faculty just because our majors are all like people helping majors. You know, you got like kinesiology, which is a lot of like physical therapy, and just we have liberal studies with like teachers, and mine is speech therapy. So it's just a lot of like people that like to help people and like very empathetic and compassionate people. And I think that like really shows in the faculty too. You know, they really care about the students. So that's nice to see.
Yeah. Any faculty shout-outs while we're here?
Ooh, I can shout out my anatomy and intro to CMSC teacher, O'Hanlon. She's great. She's one of the classes where like everyone has their cameras on. Like it's just a good vibe. So yeah, Dr. O'Hanlon, if she ever sees this.
Awesome. And then one more question. Why did you choose Chico?
It's kind of funny. Chico was like almost my only choice. Like part of me just knew that like I was meant to go here, but really like when I came to campus, that was like the deciding factor. I wanted, like I said before, like I wanted a school that was like a smaller like student to teacher ratio and had like more person to person contact. And it was really like orientation. I came and like we picked out our classes together in person. I was like, this feels like high school almost, like the amount of help that we're getting with like choosing classes. So that was like a big factor, just like the amount of help I got and like assistance, because college is hard, and having like that help really led me to where I am today.
For sure.
I never would have thought I would be in this position. So
yeah, I did Chico's, I did summer O, and I had a great experience. It was so much fun, like, you know, meeting all the new freshmen coming in and helping them with their classes and stuff. And I remember my summer orientation too, just feeling like so welcomed, feeling like I already like made friends on my first day, even before my first day I got here. But I was the same way. The second I like got on campus for like an actual campus tour, I was like, whoa, this place is cool. Like everyone's so friendly. I felt the vibes, as you said, like immediately. I knew.
Yeah, good vibes.
Yeah. Are you from close by?
I'm from the East Bay area, so kind of like 3 hours away.
Okay. So a bit of a drive then.
Yeah. What about you?
I am from Folsom, so it's like 2 hours away around Sacramento. So it's a pretty easy drive for me. And I knew a lot of people from my hometown that just loved Chico, including my dad. He was Chico State communications major, actually.
I'm an alum too.
I know, right? Crazy.
But he was business, so.
That's so funny because we were just talking about that with Dean Tretheway.
Oh, really?
It just runs in generations now with Chico State students.
Yeah, it really does. Okay, so right now I am in the editing lab. You can clearly see that if I flip the camera around, there's a lot of computers and equipment. A lot of media art and design students use this room. Again, it has state-of-the-art like technology with Adobe Creative Cloud and like all of those resources for students. I totally misspoke earlier. The Filmmakers Guild actually uses this room too for their editing. But yeah, it's just another great space for students to use for working on their portfolios and their resumes and just like building up their skill sets in design.
Yeah. So are all students in the media arts program able to kind of just come in here whenever, or like do they have to like check in with like IDs? Like how does that work?
I don't know if Angela can answer this question.
Yeah, we do have students are students do have access to the lab. One of the things that I think is really cool is that we've started some interdisciplinary programs so that students from computer animation and game design, journalism and public relations, and media arts design and technology are working on collaborative teams for real world clients to develop augmented reality and virtual reality products for those clients. And so they've done some really great work. You know, they get avid certification through media arts design and technology, which is a really sought after certification in the industry. But they, like I said, they use state-of-the-art tools to create really compelling narrative products for their clients. And their clients have included Sierra Nevada Brewery. They've done great work for them. Lundberg Farms, which is one of our organic, sustainable, large farms here in the North State, and a variety of other clients. And so, they're using these computers here that are loaded up with the software so that they can do that kind of really intensely, like I said, the professional skills to use the most current technology when they leave here. And I think that's just really, really important. And they can show employers, it's like, look, I helped make this product, and this is what my contribution to that team was. And so this is where some of that magic happens. It also happens in the field when they're doing filming on location. So it's, we're not in location today, but at least you get to see some of the lab space.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. Sounds like they're getting some, real world experience already just while in college. So that's awesome.
Okay, we're moving to our next spot.
Okay, awesome. And how many more spots are you guys hitting before we get to Christian?
We have two, this one in another room, the Mac lab.
Okay, sounds good. Just want to make sure we're allotting the right time. And I'd love to hear a little bit more about, I know that Christian's going to talk about communication sciences and disorders a little bit, but since it's also your major, I'd love to hear about what that, how it was deciding on that major, and a little bit of about what led you there, and how you're enjoying it so far.
Yeah, Christian and I actually have all our classes together. So I see him every day on Zoom. That's why it's such a small major that we only have one section for pretty much, one or two for each class. So each graduating class, we call it our cohort. And so you get to know all the students in your group, and that's what makes it kind of good, because you get to collaborate with each other.
Totally.
And it helps with figuring out grad school and just studying in general. It's nice to have a group of students you know really well. We've already created study groups and meet on Zoom and stuff, so it's made classes definitely easier being online. But why I chose the major, I was originally business for a semester, just super random. Part of it was my dad coming in as a business major. I was like, well, it's a good program at Chico, try it out. It was not for me. Obviously I just wasn't passionate about it at all, and just did a bunch of career research. I went to the career center at Chico and met with them, almost became a French major, but then I found CME and found the CMSD program, how we have a grad school program, and it just all kind of connected and clicked. And I'm just really passionate about communication and languages, and that stemmed from my learning of French. So I kind of took my love for languages and put it into some a career that's about teaching people how to communicate. So it all lined up. I got lucky.
I love that. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm definitely really grateful, because everything's so crazy in the world right now, but at least I got CME and speech therapy.
Love that. It's a little family. But anyway, it looks like you're in your new space now.
Yeah,
so show us
this is the Tehama Group Communications room. I'll flip it around. You can see they have a cute little sign. This is their table.
Wow.
And then
fancy.
over here have all the computers. Yeah, so this group, they were actually founded in 1990. And it was created for students to get the real experience of what it's like to work in an agency setting, and working with clients, with whether it's creating social media development or newsletters, brochures, all that type of marketing and media work. And so they get to work with clients, and it's all student run. The staff goes through a very competitive application process, and it looks great on resumes, and just getting that experience for going out into the real world of agency work, and it's super competitive. So this program really helps them like get ready for that job market.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to add about
It's
them, but
a fully student-run, full-service PR agency. So
Wow.
it's pretty unique to our campus to
Yeah.
have that. So maybe, Caitlin, we can just do a quick demo of the Orion and then buzz over to Christian.
All right. So I have the Orion with me right now. This
Ooh.
actually has, here's the front right here. So the Orion is actually, it's not run through Tehama, it's run through Plumas, which is right next door, and they're actually in the basement of Plumas. And they also have like all the things you need, like computers and printers and all of that technology to help them produce the newspaper. They're very independently run as students. They're not funded through us. They're funded through one of the fees that we pay in our tuition. And they've won many collegiate awards for their newspaper. They're just, I don't know what else to say about them.
Yeah. It's another fully student-run news organization. So they have a managing editor. They have all this different reporters, sports reporters, campus reporters. They have people that do ad sales. So it's all students all the time. And they're doing really good work telling really good stories that students need to hear.
Amazing. I've had a couple of interviews with the Orion myself, and they always write just amazing stories, and I love keeping up with Instagram and stuff too.
Very professional. I know I need to follow their Instagram.
Yeah, they're awesome. Definitely check it out if you're wanting to see what they're writing about, what's going on with Chico State students right now.
Yeah. All right.
Alrighty, so are we gonna go ahead and send it over to Christian now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Caitlin and Dean Trethewey. I'll see you in a little bit, but I will be right back, and thanks for hopping on.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye. Alrighty, so now it's time to get my friend Christian on here. So Christian, if you could, oh wait, there you are. You don't need to send me a request. All right, here we go. Christian, gonna show us a little bit about the college.
Hi, Dana.
Hello, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good.
I know, I miss you too. But hi everyone, my name's Christian. I am a junior here at Chico State. I'm a communication sciences and disorders major. I also have a minor in special education that also falls under CMS or CME, and I have a minor in multicultural and gender studies. So if anybody has any questions regarding those, feel free to type in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer those. Currently, I am with our associate dean right here, Deborah Summers, and then we have our CMSD office manager, Jackie. So they're going to be here with me as well, kind of going around, showing the office space. So I'm going to flip my camera. So right here, as you kind of see, it's our little lobby area for our CMSD clients or communications students as well. So typically you'd walk in, you're greeted by Jackie here. Our clients are kind of sitting here waiting for the students in the graduate program to kind of get their files, take them back to the room, and then do the actual therapy for the 90 minutes. You can actually see one of our clients right here, one of our little doggos. Just a little story behind him. That dog actually will come and with their owner and sit in that same chair for the whole 90 minutes and kind of wait for him. But we're kind of showing around. Oh, there you go. Okay. So we're gonna walk out this way and show you some of our office spaces for the CMSD graduate programs. So here, as a CMSD major, students that are in the graduate program are actually able to give back to our community, work with students and adults as well in these clinics. So this is actually one of many different clinical rooms that you see. This is actually through a double panel glass. So you can kind of see over here that there's a table where the actual SLP student is working with their client. They're there for about 90 minutes, and then the parents or guardians are more than welcome to sit and observe them. So through this, the parents are able to see what's going on, but the child can actually see them so that there's no interference with the therapy at all. The therapies are recorded, so students are actually able to go back into and watch the actual recordings of them, see what they're diagnosing the students with, how they can better help them, and then write those reports. And I'm going to walk out of this one and we're going to go into another. And this is all at our AJH Hamilton, which is over here behind our Modoc Hall. This is the location for all of our CMSD programs, a lot of different resources as well. Our advising is just down the hall from these actual clinical rooms. So you can kind of see this is a little board of some of the students that have entered into the CMSD program. And this office space is actually a really, really cool, and I wanted to show this one out. This is all the supplies and different books, different guides that our CMSD students are able to use with the actual students to see what they can better, like, for example, with students that are about 3 years old to like 7, they use all of these different toys right here to do different sound productions, phoniums, stuff like that, that actually are very important for speech and speech production and stuff. So it kind of keeps them engaged. Super cool. We have a lot of resources for those students right here that always you kind of have like your clinician right here with the actual student and then the community member. Kind of showing it around. I don't want to move too much so it doesn't cut out. But I love being a communication disorders major here at Chico. It's definitely been I knew when I came into Chico I wanted to be a speech pathology major, and here we have a very small class ratio program is very geared towards students to work very closely with them. You get to know your professors really one-on-one, especially even still over Zoom. I still feel like I have a personal relationship with my actual professors. Like Caitlin said, I want to give a shout out also to Dr. O, which is our Intro to Communication Disorders and Anatomy and Physiology. But this is another clinician room. This is really cool because it gives you a view of 3 different rooms. So you have one right here, one here, and one over here. So typically, we'd have about 3 families in here observing their students. There's about 2 clinicians in there, 1 over here and 2 over here. So it's really cool. You put on these, you can hear what your student is saying. The voices through there. And obviously you can see my reflection.
That's cool. I've never seen how that actually works. So I didn't even know that was there in Modoc. So
yeah, it's super cool. And then like I said, they're recorded so that our graduate programs or our graduate students are able to go back and rewatch them, maybe go over them with the parents themselves and talk to them about what their next strategy is for their actual diagnosis or what they can be doing for their therapy. So it's really cool. I'm very excited to be applying for this program next fall as well. So hopefully we'll be seeing. Yeah, it's crazy how fast the time's going. I thought I was just a freshman the other day.
Same.
But I also did want to mention the RISE library that we have here on just the other side of this building. Unfortunately, just our Wi-Fi isn't the best, so we wanted to just keep the quality a little bit better for our viewers. But our RISE RISE library is really cool. We have artifacts and books and a lot of different materials from all over around the world that community members, teachers, donors have actually given to Chico State. And teachers in the community themselves, our student teachers that are actually in the School of Education, are able to go in, check out physical items. So let's say you wanted to teach a unit on Native American studies in, let's say, Central California. We have some items like that in the library. We can take those out, bring them into your classroom, show your students what real artifacts are looking like, different things like that. So it's really cool. And it's open for community members as well. And it has over thousands and thousands of different things in there. It's super cool. Digitized. Yeah, and then it's also digitized as well. So it's our Miriam library where they have over the 1 million volumes of books online. The same thing with our RISE library. They have everything digitized from the artifacts to the books themselves.
Wow, I didn't know about that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's open for the community and also majors outside of CMSD.
Yeah, so that one's a lot more for our liberal studies who are going into teaching, and our credential students as well. So those are students can kind of go in there and get some materials out if they wanted to use it for that day, or if it fits their curriculum, they're able to do that. Yeah.
That's awesome. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, it's super cool. I wish I could show it to you because it's super whimsical, like full of colors, like really, really pretty. All the artifacts are like really taken care of. So I'm sad I'm not able to show it to you, but I wanted to keep the quality up for all of our viewers.
Yeah, well, that's okay. You did a great job painting a picture of it for us. Was there any last thing you wanted to show us, Christian? I know we gotta head over to YOLO and make sure we have time for that. So
I can kind of show a little bit of like where we're at right here. So we actually have
okay.
advising down the hall over here. Yeah, and then we're located right behind the Biddle Mansion and Modoc Hall. You can kind of see our advising is still doing things for students. I know our Dr. Martin and I can't remember our other advisor. They're going to be having a call for CMSD students, I believe, this next Wednesday, the 26th, for students who are interested in CMSD or looking over requirements for the actual major itself. So if you're interested in that, definitely would look at the CMSD Chico State Instagram page to see if they have any updates on that as well.
Awesome. And I know that we had a couple of comments in the chat here with some questions for you specifically.
Let's see. Oh yeah, there's a few.
SLPAUD, do you know what that means?
So here our major is communication sciences and disorders, and it's open for both SLP students and auditory students who are looking to get their PhD in audiology. So it's open for both. So it's a pathway for both students who are either interested in speech pathology to get their master's in that, or directly to go into your PhD program for audiology. So it's a pathway. It's your undergrad pathway for either one.
And SLP can get you a credential also.
Yeah, and then our speech pathology major here can actually get you a teaching credential as well. That's amazing. I can see. So you can practice with that's cool. So this one, if you are a graduate program student, you're access to these actual facilities themselves. So myself right now, I'm not working in these just because I'm not in the graduate level, but hopefully I will be soon. And then any advice for someone going into that major, just be persistent, make connections with all of your professors. It's going to really make a difference when you're applying to graduate programs. Make yourself known. I know right now it's harder over Zoom, but even just doing the little gestures of like having your camera on, trying to engage somewhat with your professors still online, it really does make a big difference. And then try to find, I was doing some internships before COVID. I had an internship back home. I was looking at CAVE as well. So definitely see if you have any resources right now available in your area that will give you the experience that you need to be able to apply for these programs.
Awesome. Thank you for answering those questions for us, Christian. Was there any last things before we sign off here?
No, but choose Chico and do CMSD. Yes. I love CME.
Yes.
All
Sorry
right,
to
bye,
go off
Dana.
here, Christian, but thank you for being on. And next we're going to go over to YOLO Hall. So thanks, Christian.
Thanks, Jana.
Bye. Alrighty, so now we are going to talk to Kevin Patton, who is the department chair of kinesiology, and he's going to show us around another building where we have a lot of majors from the College of Communication and Education. So let me find his account here. K. Patton. There we go. Oh wait, I think I did that wrong. I think I sent something and I did not mean to do that. Oh. If K Patton is around, if you could send me a request, that would be great. I'm having trouble adding you onto my live here. Oh. There we go. Okay. I think we got it going. Oh, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Thanks for showing us around YOLO today.
Absolutely. I am a newbie to Instagram, so you're going to have to coach me through.
Oh, okay. You're doing great. Now you got it figured out. It's going to be easy. But if you could just first introduce yourself to us and tell us a little bit about the space you're in, and then you can go ahead and show us around.
Great. So my name is Kevin Patton, and I am a professor in the Department of Kinesiology, and I'm also the department chair. And interesting fact, similar to Dean Trethewey, I am a graduate of Chico State, and so I had an opportunity to come back here about 10 years ago because Chico State is a wonderful place.
Mm-hmm.
And so today there's about 4 spaces that I want to share with you. We have a lot to offer in the Department of Kinesiology. We have 2 programs in particular. One is a degree in exercise physiology, right? So you're interested in the effects of exercise on the body, on physiological aspects of the body. And our other program is kinesiology. And in that program, you can emphasize in 3 different areas, actually. One is fitness and wellness. One is coaching administration, and one is physical education, teacher education. And so I'm going to show you some spaces that kind of correspond with each of those spaces.
Awesome.
Okay, space that I want to show you, and I'm in this space right now, and I'm just going to show you some stuff here. We have some strength training equipment. This is our exercise physiology lab. You can see some bikes, some resistance bikes over on the right-hand side. And so if you were in, actually all of our majors in this department would take a class in this space. And so physiology of exercise is really a core class that all of our majors take. And so you would be engaged in a lecture, and then you would come to this space in a small lab section, and you get a lot of hands-on experience. And so I want to point out over here we have 2 treadmills. And some of our viewers may be familiar with a VO2 max test. You may have seen somebody with a face mask on in a plastic tube. And what that's doing is we're assessing an individual's ability to utilize oxygen, right? So people who are in great physical shape are able to utilize oxygen more efficiently than those that are not. And so this is a really high-tech space that we're pretty proud of.
Awesome.
So with that said, do you want me to move on to the next space?
Of course, yeah. We have 13 minutes before the the thing gets cut off. So
we're going to do a fast tour.
But
then.
while we're walking, I can ask you some questions.
Okay.
So I would love to hear about what research you do in particular and what your favorite things to teach are.
Fantastic. Yes. And as I'm doing that, I am showing you our wonderful strength and conditioning facility. And so if you are interested in becoming a strength and conditioning coach, either working with college or professional athletes, this might be a space that you would utilize. And so I'll address your question. My emphasis area is in teacher education. So specifically, I was trained to support and train prospective physical education teachers. And so in our department, we produce fantastic K-12 physical education teachers, as well as adapted physical education teachers. So if you're interested in working with individuals with disabilities, what ties us all together is a love and appreciation of human movement. So all of our majors, that is what we're about. And if you didn't know, kinesiology is the study of human movement. Okay, so with that, I'm going to keep on moving. So again, this is our strength and conditioning lab. You can see we have a lot of really high-tech equipment, Olympic lifting, as well as, I'll try to go slow, some more traditional strength training equipment. And so one cool aspect about all of our majors is that they are very hands-on, right? Mm-hmm. So I talked a little bit about you might engage in a lecture activity, but there's always a corresponding application opportunity. And so we know that our majors love to move. They love to do experiential learning. And so we have a lot of those components in our majors. And so the next space that I want to show you, and this is part of the space, we have an autism clinic. And this autism clinic works with individuals on the autism spectrum and their families. And what we do in this space, you can see here we have some pretty cool bikes and a lot of different equipment, is we're working with young people to work on their motor skills and to work on their social skills. And this is one of the few autism clinics in Northern California and actually in the state. And so it really provides a great opportunity for us to give back to the North State. This is another activity space that I'm showing you here. And it provides a service for the families and the students in the North State, And what it also does is it provides our students with a great hands-on experience. And so if you are interested in working with kids on the autism spectrum, you could start in this space by observing So you might observe one of our clinicians who's working with a student, and then ultimately you would get an opportunity to get some hands-on experience as well. So it serves the local community, and it also gives our students really invaluable experience working with kids. And one thing I can say is the last I heard, there was about 60 families on the wait list just to get services here. So
Wow.
it is super popular, and the families involved really testify to the usefulness and to how much their kids love it.
Yeah.
So,
wow, I had no idea that we had that. I'm definitely going to brag about that on one of my next campus tours when we talk about YOLO. So yeah, thank you so much for showing us that.
sure. We're going to make a little transition here. We're just leaving the autism clinic. YOLO Hall is one of the newer buildings on campus. We've been in here about a little over 10 years, but so this is our YOLO Hall space. And I want to take you just to one more space. So I mentioned that if you were, actually I didn't talk careers, but if you were interested in becoming a physical therapist, if you're interested in becoming an occupational therapist, if you're interested in working in a fitness facility as either in corporate fitness or in a gym, if you're interested in owning your own gym, those are all some of our majors careers rather, that you could get with one of our degree programs. And so this is the last space that I want to show you. And I mentioned earlier that we train future teachers, right? And so this is a space that I frequently teach in. And you can see our mantra up here on the wall is guiding children in the process of becoming physically active for a lifetime, right? So our department is all about promoting physical activity. So if you're into wellness, if you're into helping others, our department might be for you. And in particular, this is a space, again, where prospective physical education and adapted physical education teachers take many of their classes, right? So this is set up. You can see no, you can't. Let me flip it around. You can see a screen here. So you'll have a lecture. Here's the podium. And then you actually get to try out the concepts and apply the concepts in this great space, right? And one thing I wanted to build off of what Christian showed over there, and this is so much fun because I don't get to see what other programs do necessarily, is we also have an observation room. This is a two-way mirror here. And so frequently what we'll do is we'll bring in elementary students or middle or high school students from the local community, and we will provide a physical activity experience here in the gym, and then we can sit in the observation room. There's one here, and then there's also another one here. And so we're observing, we may be taking notes, looking at characteristics of the students, but we're not out here. It's just a little less obtrusive, and we get to, our students get to watch. So with that, cool. That was a fast and furious 4 spaces. Are there questions that I can answer?
Yeah, I would love to hear about what do you love about your Chico State students here?
I would say that Chico State students are highly engaged. They are social, and many of our students in particular, I mentioned in kinesiology, they love to move. They love to learn socially. And so I feed off their energy. I feed off their willingness to just jump in and engage, regardless of what the activity is. So I would say it's their eagerness, their motivation, and their willingness to really connect with each other and with their professors.
Awesome. And then one more question for me, because I know that I've heard a lot of fun different kinesiology classes that people outside of the major get to take. Like I know a lot of people that take in yoga or like backpacking, and we have some really fun options here that you don't, necessarily need to be a kinesiology major for. So I'd love to hear what your favorites are of those options.
Well, we have some fantastic options, and yes, even virtually we are offering those. And so to all prospective students, if you're going to come to CME, which I hope you do or not, we offer just a ton of physical activity classes like you mentioned. I'd say some of them more popular are yoga, weight training. We do offer some backpacking and indoor rock climbing. We just offer a variety of different physical activity outlets. And I would just emphasize that while we're doing this virtually, we're still offering that same programming. So we're able to offer those experiences for students that they can do at home, via Zoom and with little or no equipment. So we're still in business. We're still providing that. And you can probably attest, and everybody watching, the importance of being active right now in this crazy world. We got to take care of ourselves and our wellness. And part of that is being active. And that's the business that we're in.
Yes. I love to hear that those classes are still happening online. I should have done one of those. Force myself to get
active.
And
you can sign up in the spring. You can sign up for one.
I might just do that. Well, thank you so much for showing us around YOLO Hall. We are going to send it back to Dean Angela Trethway for some, final thoughts, but thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Alrighty. So last stop here, folks. We're about 5 minutes until we get cut off. So we're going to go back and talk to the dean again. Hello.
Hi. I know we're running out of time. I just want to say, if you have any questions or if there's anything that we can share with you that would be helpful, don't hesitate to reach out. Our website, the CME website, is just csuchico.edu/CME. So if you go to the homepage /CME, you'll find us. We have a student success advisor, Shauna Lucas. If you have any questions, she's a great resource. She can direct you to wherever you need to go. But just know that we are here standing by, and we hope that we get to meet you really, really soon. And thanks for taking the time today. We are just absolutely delighted. Yes, and thanks to all the folks at admissions for making it happen, and to our wonderful students, Caitlin and Christian. They rock. And of course, Kevin Patton, who's just the bomb. So right on. Thanks all.
Thank you so much. And thanks
Super
for everyone for tuning in. We're going to have this up on IGTV. So tell your friends about what you learned today and tell them to check it out. We have we're going to do all the colleges. Next week, I'll be doing business. So can't wait to keep it going. But thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye,
really appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye all.